Hey yo, so boom, we back again. Alright, here is the latest update. So boom, right? Yeah, and I did realize my glasses were crooked, but that's because I was fucking with the nose bridge and I can obviously see. But anyways, I kinda know exactly what I want out of my life now, and it was weird because like I said, I've been like having my visions and my premonition. I just really been putting a lot of energy towards me figuring out what I want, like literally, like not on a minor level, just like literally the things that I majorly want in my life. And I started to put together a plan, and the plan simply went like boom, 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 boom. And I'm gonna detail it, but it's more like a route. It's like a football route, like just hit this, hit this, hit this, hit this, hit this, and I'll be good. But ultimately, on the topics, I'm not gonna make this long-winded, but on the topics of like Miami and different shit like that, like yeah, it's exciting, but I'd rather travel. I don't really wanna. I wanna actually make smart, sensible decisions with my life now, and I wanna show that on camera. So for me, it was just like, boom, $1,000 on my exam, boom, $2,000 on my equipment for the rhodium, plating, cast, certain shit, just extra shit that I need. So 1,000 there, 2,000 there. After that, scout for my next IT position. After I scout my next, well, obviously sit and pass the exam. Scout for my next IT. This is about January of the next year. Scout for my next IT position. Boom, land that 88 to 90K, 95K, something like that. Just jump in real quick, get my feet wet. Take that, pay off anything that I need to pay off, and then that's when I started to think, because there's a major reason why not having a car is strategic. It's the same investment. I'm not about to explain too much, but it's the same investment for a house. And I was like, damn, I started looking at S classes and different things. I'm a Mercedes guy. Like, I just like cars, so I just be watching car videos. But I was just like, I could just really save a deposit for a house, because I was just like, let me just rent a house in St. John's. But I was just like, if I double what it is to say or rent the house, that's a deposit on a house. So I started to think, I don't mind this area, so I might just sit in IT, do like another 6-8 months in this position, and just like stack the chips, like stack the bread, and really drop a deposit, closing costs, all that, taxes, insurance, all that good shit, like a good chunk of change, 50-60K, stack like 50-60 racks, and purchase a house in St. Johns County. And then that way I got equity, I have a business, I can build my family from there, and I can work from home in IT. And that to me builds a whole package that I really want. And that way, with everything that's happening in America, like at least I'm rooted into something. So that's a lot different of a plan than picking another apartment or another rental structure. Like, you can go on forever like that, but ultimately, like, I'm trying to find the best strategic plan for my life and what I want. And the jury part, I can do private clientele. I just got to position myself in a county that I feel that is worth it for me. And that's why I feel like St. John's, like, again, I can sit here and stack that money up. Like, I don't need to change my expenses, I just need to change my income. And that's why I was like, boom, drop the $1,000 on the exam, take that, pass that, drop. In the meantime, stack 2K for my business, up, and trickle it off, enhance my business. And then after that, it really doesn't matter if I date seriously or not. Like, whatever happens happens, because at this point, then the fundamentals of my life will have been taken care of. And then if I stay in this current position and don't increase my expenditures at all, then I can stack house money. And that's where I'm like, well, I really don't have a problem not having a vehicle, because I love eating. Like, I love to eat out. I just like food. So I will order food all day and be content. As long as I can make my money on the internet, I really don't be tripping on shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, all the other shit is around me, and I know how to maneuver. So, like, I'm not worried about much. And with that said, it's almost advantageous and strategic for me just to sit right here and let the money stack up. And that's something that my uncle was telling me in Atlanta, where I went wrong. He was just like, man, I built the house, I did this, this is where you went wrong. But at the same time, I was focused on making another stream of income for myself, which is becoming a jeweler. So even in this investment of 2K, that also opens up the door for me to now do petty sales. Petty sales in the realm of 600, 800, 1,000, 1,500. I can do those repeatedly without like working on custom pieces. Like the whole custom thing takes a little bit too long. It's a certain type of clientele. It just is something. So I've understood how to make more conventional jewelry that sells faster on like a hustler, like, yo, this is what I got type of deal. So now that I'm moving like that, but that still requires a certain level of investment. Hence, I was saying rhodium plating and different things like that. So I'm like, bet, even with all the money that I did invest, I still need to put in another 2K on the jewelry front just to be able to be like, okay, I can complete whatever. You know what I'm saying? That does not include a surplus of diamonds or metal either. That just literally is all tools and know-how. But I'm not opposed to that because I've already put in so much money at this point that another 2,000 is, just dirt under the rug, just something gets swept under the rug. It's for a good reason, and that's why I said, okay, boom, $1,000 on my exam, take my exam. Then $2,000 for my equipment. Okay, boom, that opens up the door to IT. Now I'm back in a nice paying IT position. Don't increase my lifestyle. Keep it marginal that it is. I can go on dates because like I said, all I like to do is eat. I don't do drugs and shit. So I just eat a lot of food and I like to, hit the little dispos and shit like that. So between those two, I know I don't even smoke, so it's not like I'm not blowing money or nothing. Like I know how to maintain shit like to a T. So I keep it on that note. I can save what I was gonna save is like 8 to 10 racks. If I turn that 8 to 10 into 30 and really just aim for 50, 5K a month. Y'all like, oh, T talking some real numbers. It's like 5K a month. So if you're making good money in IT, you bring it home, like I said, trickling off this, and you can set aside 3 to 5K a month and just keep your living expenses low, then ultimately I will ultimately have that chunk of change that I'm looking for to purchase a house. And don't forget that you're still gonna go through a bank and finance the rest of it, but still having a sizable amount from 40 to 60 racks, just okay, boom, I can drop it on that. That really opens the door for home ownership for myself. And also, me picking my women wisely, I'm obviously gonna pick a earner, if not two, because I like, polyamory in that sense. I like two bitches. I tend to always like 2 or 3 bitches at the same time. That's just been me. So, I endorse bitches that like bitches. Like, so that was the Maria. Maria like bitches. I like bitches. Most of my bitches like bitches. So I really don't be having problems like that. But anyways, that's been my game plan, and that's where I was just sitting back, just really gelling to myself and just like, okay, bet T, what do you want? Like it's not like, oh, another C 300 E class. Like that's kind of frivolous assets, depreciating assets, fronting a lifestyle a little bit. Again, I want to have a little bit more control over what I'm building, and I want to leave a legacy. So again, my children are in a good school system. My family is in a good environment that I don't have to worry about. It is an environment that is conducive for my business for growth reasons. It's safe. It's practically safe. Not worried about high levels of death or theft is what I wanted to say, or death, but high levels of theft and shit like that. Like, so boom, like I really took all this shit into consideration: storm charting, gentrification, development, education, policing, zoning, uh, racism, whether it's strong or lesser, and just civil opportunities. So I put a lot of consideration into what I'm thinking about, and that's why even though when I love Atlanta and shit like that, where do you buy the house? Where do you? It's like almost guaranteed that your children are LGBTQ, all this other shit that they got going on, and I love Atlanta, but I just don't want that for my family, and I really don't necessarily want hypersexuality and or hyper niggatry of Miami, which is just shenanigans and charades. It's not just niggatry, it's just everybody down there partying, having a good time, but that's not necessarily what I want for a family, and it's somewhat, it just puts you in a weird position. There's a lot of STIs and other things going on down there, and you see a lot of bad women, so why put yourself in a situation to provoke yourself unless it is for a business reason, which I don't mind eventually when my money's on that level, having a condo or something like that, or maybe even moving to the outskirts of South Florida, but I want to build up to that point. I don't really necessarily want to dive off with the biggest bill and try to front that big boss chief Cohiba lifestyle, especially when I'm not selling my soul in or ass, because I don't do that. So, you know, at the end of the day, you gotta do shit with morality. So for me, I just want to sit back, stay locked into what I got going on. And yes, I did say sell my ass. A lot of people did say that. Nah, I don't do shit like that. I really, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I'm being honest, people really do compromise their lifestyle to pay for their lifestyle. And I'm not one of them people to do that. I just, no, I'm not. I've never been one to compromise who I am as a person. That's why half the time I'm ostracized and alienated, because I'm going to voice my opinions and I'm gonna stand on business. But that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, like, I'm just really laying down the fundamentals of what I want for me and why my expectations for, or your expectations for me out of YouTube should change, because it's no longer let me put you on, let me show you this. It's now more or less, this is my lifestyle. Here's just an updated copy or version or video of it, show you what's going on. So now that I'm a little bit more locked on, I'm not really fucking around, and I love not fucking around. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really keeps me focused. Like, and I like going to bed early and shit like that too. So, you know, like, I'm whittling off these last couple of days till I go back to the dealership. But in the meantime, like I said, I've been grinding for my IT exam. I've really been just so super fixated and focused on the things that matter most to me. And that's what the biggest change is. So moving forward, you probably will see me again back in the dating culture, back in like just chilling, doing me, making jewelry, focus on the IT. It's a little bit more of documenting my life, like kind of how I was riding around, hanging with the bitches and doing shit like that. That's kind of pretty much what you're gonna get out of me going forward, versus the interactive, hey, we should work on this, or I'm gonna put you on to that, because I ain't gonna really put you on to shit no more. I'm gonna really just sell it to you. The game sold, not told. El Booming what? Peace, TJ. We gonna blow my whole shit up, gang. El Booming what? Y'all already know.